Hello friends, today we are going to study on CAS 7 which is revised 2017 effective from 1st April 2010. Cost accounting standards on employee cost, and it is issued by Institute of Cost Accountant of India, and CAS 7 tells about the employee cost, which we can say means labor cost also, as we have already studied in the labor chapter. Yeah, it's basically CAS 7 defines the principles and rules, that is how to determine our employee cost and how to present our employee cost. So this only tells CAS 7, and we are going to study in this. So objectives are the same, scopes are the same, like bringing uniformity and consistency. They should be with reasonable accuracy, and for requiring attestation, with those including requiring attestation, they should be applied to cost statement, attest, classification, measurement, assignment, presentation, disclosure of employer cost. So here are some important definition I have picked for you, which define this totally CAS 7. What is called CAS 7 wants to explain, so these definition will clear all the points. So what is employee cost? Like it says, like employee benefits paid or payable in all forms of consideration given for the services rendered by employees, like including temporary, part-time and contract employees of an entity. So what you will pay to employee in return to the services provided by the employee, whether it should be in cash or in kind, whether the employee is part-time or temporary, you are paying them. So that case, in that case, whether it is temporary or employee, so that is our employee cost. In whatever you are paying in return of the services provided by employee, that is our employee cost. Contract employees, like you have a contract with a company, and that contractor hires employer and pay employees and paying them salary. So that is not your employee cost to paying the employee. We are paying to the contractor. That is our employee cost, not to the employee. So I hope this is clear. Like what is if we are paying to contractor, that is our employee cost. Contractor is paying to employees. That is not our employee cost. So employee cost is basic pay plus DA, that is dearness allowance plus other allowance per plus perquisite plus employee contribution. Employee contribution, you can say PF, ESI, gratuity. That gives us employee cost. Okay, next is like idle time. Idle time is something is the employee is sitting free and we are paying him for that also. That is the idle time. You can say idle time can be of two types: normal idle times and abnormal idle times. Normal idle time, like we have taken break for food, for lunch, tea time, for freshen up time, that is our abnormal time and we are paying to that. And another is abnormal idle time, which is suddenly happens, like machine breakdown. Our routine work has been disturbed, due to which employee is free and sitting idly, which is not his mistake actually. So in that, payment made to him is abnormal idle cost, and which is directly should be taken into PNL account. And same other time, normal idle time is should be considered as considered or adjusted in employee cost only. So this is the abnormal idle time or normal idle time. And if from here also you can, if you want to calculate the labor hours, how much effective labor hours are there that has been occurred in that, then that you can say that total labor hours minus normal idle time, in that you will get an effective labor hours. And with reference to that, you can calculate also labor cost per hour, that is total labor cost divided by effective labor hours will give you labor cost per hour. So this is the idle time and abnormal idle time. Overtime premium is like if you're doing providing the services beyond the service hours, and the salary and wages has been paid to them, that is also considered as an employee cost. And this is I've discussed employee cost, that is basic pay plus DA plus other loans gives us employee cost. Bonus is also an employee cost. Remuneration paid to the manager personnel, including executive director on the board and other officers of a corporate body under a statute, will be considered as part of the employee cost of the year. Under reference, whether the whole or part of the remuneration is considered computed as a percentage of profit. Fine. So that is all also employee cost. Same like if you are paying to non-executive director, that should be adjusted into an admin overhead. And separate costs related to voluntary retirement, retrenchment, termination, etc., shall be amortized over the period. Benefit from such cost. So, imputed cost is also not an employee cost. What is imputed cost? Imputed cost is notional cost, which is that is expenses not actually incurred. That is not actually happened or incurred from your pocket. And same, the cost of idle time is ascertained by the idle hours multiplied by the hours rate applicable to the idle employee or a group of employee. And what about point number 7 says, like if a payment made to an employee with respect to the old dues, and the employer is paying to the employee with reference to past any activity, that is not form a part of employee cost. Like we can say, if any there is any dispute between employee and employer and there is no conclusion has been considered, so in that case employer has taken the case into court, and in that he wins, employee wins the case, and with respect to then employer has to pay the certain amount to the employee. That amount paid to that employee with reference to past activities shall not be treated as an employee cost. So this is the employee cost with reference to past activities. So any abnormal cost where it is material and quantifiable shall not form part of employee cost. Any subsidy, penalty, damages shall not part of employee cost. Free housing, free conveyance, any benefit has been provided to the employee cost of a consumed in such benefit. Also, any recovery from employee cost, employee towards any benefit provided shall be reduced from an employee cost. Assignments, where the employee services are traceable, that is directly traceable, easily you can trace that employee cost, that should be assigned to the cost object. The basis on their time consumed, number of employees, and whether the particular employee cost is chargeable to separate, the principle of materiality should be also mentioned. And where it is not directly traceable to the cost, then it should be assigned on the basis of estimate basis of the time study. If there is any recruitment cost, training cost, and shall be treated as overhead and dealt with accordingly. Amortized is separate cost related. If there is any voluntary retirement, retrenchment, termination, that indirect cost should be assigned to the cost object and should be unamortized amount related to discontinued operation, or that is also not treated as employee cost. Overtime premium has been paid to the employee, so shall be assigned directly to the cost object and in an economic feasible manner. Idle cost shall be assigned directly to the cost object or treated as overhead depending on the economic feasible and the circumstances causes such items. Presentation. This is also one important point. And direct employee cost shall be presented as separate cost. Indirect employee cost should be a part of overheads like manufacturing, admin, whether related to the cost. The cost statement shall furnish the resource consumed by on account of employee costs, category wise, such as wages, salary, permanent, temporary, part time. Like you are mentioning the employee cost, then you have to also present like in which form you are paying your wages or salary, whether it's you are paying to how many part of a salary you are paid to part time temporary employees, contractor, and then you have to, if you are paying overtime also, any benefits also, then you have to clearly mention in your statement and then under the head of employee cost. Disclosure, separate cost sheet should be maintained. Abnormal cost is there, have been excluded. Penalties and damages also, any subsidy, then you have to mention in your state cost sheet also. If any payment made to related parties with reference to foreign exchange also. If there is any change in the cost accounting principles that is affected, that is affecting to your employee cost, then you have to mention that with this effect you are changing this, has been a material effect on employee cost. You have to disclose this, and disclosure shall be made into a body of the cost statement or as a footnote or as a separate schedule. So these are the disclosures also. So this is the cost accounting standard 7, that is on employee cost, and which is very easy. And I have taken few points, like few key points of important definition that defines totally about the employee cost. So this is for today, and we're going to meet with another video on CAS 8. Until then, thank you.